Nigeria will continue to grow its relationship with India in the areas of health, education, technology, agriculture and trade. The president made this known today while receiving India's Vice President Mohammed Hamid Ansari at the State House, Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari notes that Nigeria will emulate the Asian country's agricultural model and capacity to feed its people. Our correspondent, Omelogo Nnadi, reports.
The Indian Vice President Mohammed Hamid Ansari was received by Nigerian Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo at the State House. But his first port of call was to the office of the President to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari. Following a brief introduction of his business delegation to the President and an exchange of formalities, both Vice Presidents went into closed-door meeting with President Buhari for bilateral talks. Next port of call was the meeting between both Vice Presidents and some members of both cabinets relevant to areas of bilateral talks such as agriculture, security, trade and investment, and foreign affairs, in which memoranda of understanding were signed. The Vice President of Nigeria says Nigeria will adapt relevant sectors to the success stories in India, even as the Indian Vice President assures of new ideas and more concrete proposals.
And we will certainly, as we've said, look to India for the various ways in which India has shown leadership in the world, areas of science and technology, even agriculture and information technology. We'll be looking to India for help in some of these areas, and we hope that as time goes on, all of this will crystallize.
It is important that we continue to engage with new ideas and concrete proposals to evaluate this relationship and elevate it to the next higher level.
The Indian Vice President, who was received by the growing Indian community in Nigeria Monday on his 3-day visit, will also visit Lagos State, where he is expected to speak to students at the University of Lagos. Omelogo Nnadi, Channels Television News.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, and the Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, today visited the President over issues that were not disclosed to journalists. Although the meeting lasted over an hour, both men declined to comment on the details of their discussion. Both men did not comment when asked by State House correspondents whether or not their visit is connected with the alleged budget padding, sales of assets, and the crisis between party stalwarts in the All Progressives Congress. We're counting down now to the governorship elections in Edo State. Expectations are high as both local and international observers are in the state to monitor the polls. Some residents who spoke to Channels Television in Benin City have called for free, fair and credible election.
Making last-minute purchases at the market around the King Square in Benin City, the Edo State capital, as they look forward to the 2016 governorship election scheduled for the 28th of September 2016. Very close by, others queue up to withdraw cash to support themselves on election day, when movement will be restricted, just as motorists could be seen navigating the popular ring road within the Benin metropolis. Some residents speak of their expectations ahead of the poll.
So we expect a credible election tomorrow. We expect a level playing ground tomorrow, and we expect a transparent election tomorrow.
My message to them is that they should carry out the election without quarrel, without fight, without wanting to take it by force. Let the best man win.
For this respondent, Edo State has been a shining example, judging from the electioneering campaigns and he hopes it remains so.
Elections like this, by now you would have heard that 2, 3, 4 very important persons have been assassinated on either side, but this has not been the case. So my expectations are that Edo State will maintain this very good reputation, this very good understanding, this maturity. However heated up the people's views, they should maintain that condition of tolerance.
International observers are also in town, all in a bid to ensure that everything about the election goes according to plan.
We're here participating in observer missions with the UK High Commission, with the European Union, and some other international missions. We think it's very important that the international community be out here. The world is looking. They're watching what's happening in Edo, and the stakes are high, and we're watching very closely.
With the D-Day finally here, the people of Edo State expect nothing short of a free, fair and credible election.
While the Independent National Electoral Commission says it is almost impossible to rig tomorrow's governorship poll in Edo State, INEC's National Commissioner in charge of publicity and voter education, Mr. Solomon Shoyabi, told Channels Television that INEC is working closely with its major allies in the conduct, which are the security agencies, to achieve success in Wednesday's exercise.
We are not only tracking the processes, we are even tracking materials. The permanent voter's card is the easiest one to track. By the time it goes on the smart card reader, it's on a sort of radar, and we know what happens to that card at least until 2 o'clock. So it's not possible for anybody to bring in the string card in there. It's not possible for anybody to bring in a card after the prescribed hour in there. It's not possible for you to take a card which belongs to one polling booth to another. It's not. There are some things that are just not possible.
So rigging is impossible in this election?
I'm telling you, almost impossible. Let's just use the word.
To rig?
Almost, I'm telling you. It's almost impossible. You see, the whole thing is process protected. We can talk about what is happening at a particular stage, and we can track effectively the process itself. And we can track the materials. This is what I'm talking to you. We can track the progress of election.
Let's take it to Abuja now, where Linda Akigbe is standing by with more on the news at 10. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned a former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Usman Jibrin, and 2 others before a Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Maitama. The accused faces a 4-count charge bordering on criminal conspiracy. The naval chiefs allegedly bought a house worth 600 million naira from the account of the Naval Engineering Services without the said purchase being captured in the budget. It was also alleged that the documentation for transfer of ownership of the property was done such that a private company owned by the family of the first defendant becomes the buyer. The defendants pleaded not guilty when the charges were read to them. In view of their plea, counsel to EFCC Abdullah Farouk asked the court for a date for commencement of a trial. After listening to the submissions of both counsels, Justice Umar adjourned the hearing on bail applications till September the 28th. And meanwhile, hearing in the suit filed by Mr. Alex Oti of the All Progressives Grand Alliance seeking to be joined in the Abia State governorship appeal case has been put off by the Supreme Court. Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, through his counsel, objected to Oti's appeal on the ground that he was mentioned in the substantive matter. Counsel to Mr. Oga also objected to Oti's application to be joined in the matter. Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed ordered counsels to file their briefs of argument and make same available to the court within 14 days. The court also resolved to fix a date for hearing of the matter as soon as argument briefs are filed. Away from legal matters, The Niger Delta Development Center has engaged contractors carrying out emergency repairs on major roads at 194 locations across the Niger Delta. That's according to the acting managing director of the NDDC, Ibim Seminitari, who made this known while she led members of a Senate committee on Niger Delta on an inspection tour of NDDC projects in Cross River State.
Members of the Senate Committee on the Niger Delta are here to inspect parts of the 75-kilometer stretch of the Calabar-Itu Road, where reconstruction work is taking place.
It goes past it to reach into Akwa Ibom State. The entire length of the road where we're intervening is 75. It's bad across. So we're intervening in several points across the road.
The committee, which commends the venture as ambitious, is however disappointed with the condition of the project for the University of Calabar in Cross River State.
5 years ago, and back 6 years ago. What is, I don't understand.
The learned was abandoned by contractors several years ago without achieving much. Same thing with the 15-kilometer Adiabo-Eseku Road in Odukpani local government area of Cross River State, which contractors are accused of completing by only 19%, in spite of the 36% of the contract sum, amounting to about 1.56 billion naira released to them. When questioned, the contractor tries to defend himself.
If you go beyond, the sand field that has been done there for the whole of that spread in the swamp, the sand that has been buried there is more than 6 meter depth of sand in many places.
Objection. But the Senate committee leader is having none of it.
You see, my program with the NDDC is that I don't know what the legal department is doing.
Exactly, that's where I'm going. Thank you.
And the money we budgeted this year, we're going to oversight that legal department. For every money they spend, out of the 1.something billion we approved for them, we are going to oversight them.
Things look up a bit at the Cross River State University of Science and Technology. Here, all agree that for a hostel that has been abandoned for about 10 years, it's in pretty good condition and only needs some finishing touches to bring it up to standards. Meanwhile, in the coming days, the committee is expected to continue its tour in other parts of the Niger Delta.
Still ahead on the news at 10, financial experts and operators deliberating solutions to pension administration and regulation in Africa. That's some business news. Please join us again.